Hello, we're now on day 3 of our reflective tarot readings, and it is the 4th and 6th Sephiroth of the Tree of Life, and that is Chesed and Tiferet. Beautiful energy today after the heaviness yesterday of Gavura. Not my favourite Sephiroth. Yeah, so if you enjoy the content, as I said before, please subscribe and comment and like, as it will help grow the channel and I'll greatly appreciate it. I'm posting every day the reflective reads for the whole spring season. So if you want notifications, then press the bell, hit the bell, and you'll get the notifications of when they're up each day. So yeah, today it is Chesed, which is unbounded, unconditional love, the 4th Sephiroth, in Tiferet, the 6th. And Tiferet is beauty, harmony, love. It's all that good stuff. It's kind of like the archetype of Venus, that, you know, beauty, love, all that. So here we go. I've done what I've done with the last 2 days, and I chose the cards to reflect the Sephiroth. They're not randomly pulled, but I randomly pulled the Oracle card, and this one from the Rumi deck is called Cosmic Heart. And as usual, I will read Rumi's words from this tarot card, Oracle card. Rumi says, "I was dead, I became alive. I was tears, I became laughter. The power of love arrived and made me everlasting power. I have seen everything, I have no fear, I have the heart of a lion, I shine like Venus." Randomly pulled. I hear it and weep. In sublime reverence, I bow to this living, beating, loving heart of the universe. It echoes throughout all of creation. Once, some time ago, I was deaf. I'd heard not one true sound. Much noise, but no truth. So I believed in many things not worth believing in. Then in a moment of my crisis that cracked my heart open, I was given a gift. Though I felt fear and confusion, a gift came to me, more powerful than all those temporary ailments. That gift was the ability to hear the sound hidden beneath all life. I heard it, that sacred sound of the beating heart of universal love. Now I know that belief in unworthy things like fear and doubt is lunacy. Even my loneliness became unconvincing to me. We are animated by this living heartbeat, part of life that is sustained by it. You and I, the planets, the birds, the fishes, emerge from the great source because of this beating heart of the universe. It pumps life through our veins. What proof of this is needed? You live. That's the proof. I hear it everywhere now. It's become so loud, louder than any word of fear. It resonates through my soul and eclipses any tremor of anxiety. So Rumi had obviously had an overwhelming experience of the 6th and 4th Sephiroth. He is kind of like the prophet of love, Rumi. So that is incredible. It's a love where he felt the whole universe resounding with it, and it kind of dissolved his fears, his doubts, his anxieties. So once again, the Oracle really typifies the energy of Tiferet and Chesed. Chesed. Yeah, so that's the start of the read. As always, the major arcana and these, I think I said it at the beginning of the video, but I'll say it again. The major arcana and the minor I picked to reflect these energies. They're not randomly picked. So we start the read with the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant is a beautiful mystical energy. He's known as the Pope, and the popes, they had the power over the kings. He was like, he still is in the Catholic tradition, he is the mediator between people and God. So the Pope used to hold extreme amounts of power. But this archetype of the Pope is actually the inner archetype of intuition. It's our inner voice, the voice that speaks to us. Yeah, he's our inner teacher. We don't need mediators. We have our own inner mediator, and it's in the form of this archetype. So he our inner voice, this inner teacher, mediates between source, you know, the divine, and humanity. He guides us, directs us. It is a powerful mystical experience. So his energy is kind of beyond time and space. You're taken into a place where you're beyond time and space. It's in the heart. It's in, you know, and Tiferet is the heart, really, of the tree of life. So, and it actually represents the heart, and as I say, Venus. So that's your inner voice. So your questions are, do I hear my inner voice? Am I guided by my inner voice, or am I guided from external sources? Then we come to the Hangman. Now he's got the glow around his head. So again, it is a card of illumination, but it's also a card where he's suspended and he's at rest. I mean, he's not like he's on a cross, you know, but not like the suffering cross. He's just kind of chilling with his leg there. So yeah, he's in suspension. He's a card of enlightenment, but he's like in a place where his kind of ego is being re-centered to his true self, so it can be used properly. He's not dominated, but in that process, it is, again, I know I talked about it on the last one, it's a process of disillusion. You have in the spiritual traditions, we often have the water baptism in many of the traditions, but the baptism of water it's representative of passing from death into life, and also it's about the waters above and the waters below. It's a spiritual significance of it. You know, when we're born, we pass through the waters, you know, from the mother's womb. And when we die, the waters rise in our body into our lungs and give us that death rattle. I'm not obsessed with death, really. Yeah, so he is significant of that kind of disillusion of ego, but he's suspended because he's not quite there. He's waiting for a full illumination, you know, like that baptism of fire and the baptism of water in the spiritual sense. So he's just chilling there, he's hanging out, waiting, and he's in Tiferet because he's kind of illumined with love. He's got a sense of the love, a sense of what's coming. He's about transition and change, you know. He's yeah, transition and change, really. He's had dissolution and now he's transitioning. It can also represent like that resistance, you know, where the ego's dominating, where we want to be right and we're not going to be led by anything other than our own self. Or we're kind of not hearing our own intuitive inner sense, the inner call, you know, the deep call to deep. So yeah, this is the Hangman. So we got the mystical inner teacher. We've got the Hangman who's hanging there waiting for, you know, complete. Really, what he's waiting for is to get off that cross. Waiting to stop being suspended. And I think sometimes, especially in spiritual growth, we can feel like we've plateaued out, and you know, we've learned a lot, we've developed a lot, but nothing's happening, and it's like, is this it? But it's that kind of, you know, wait like the Hangman, you know, sit in the glow of love, the glow of giving, you know. So, and then the last card is the Sun. And the Sun again is illumination. It's a great illumination. It's self-revelation. It's revelation about yourself, your soul, and it's about your higher self. So rather than your kind of material nature, this is illumination about your higher self. And what's interesting is it's a child, a child sat on a horse. But then the Sun in life, it brings all that light and warmth, you know. But the Sun in self-illumination will bring wisdom, you know, all the difficult things in life, the good things in life. It will bring us insight, learning, wisdom, and uncover us. But the Sun also kind of changes things at cellular level. So when we are developing like our psycho-spiritual development, we can actually experience cellular changes in our body. So we can feel more energetic, we can feel more full of life, you know, the positivity that comes and gives you a healthy body. Because obviously when you're depressed and you're low and you're in confusion and you're not in a good place, that can make you susceptible to illness. It can make you susceptible to virus. But yeah, I'm not saying that ill health is caused because you're depressed or you're not in a good spiritual place, because I think there is spiritual learning in illness. I'm just saying that it can change you on a cellular level, you know, this kind of balanced. You've got Chesed and Gevurah, that talked about it yesterday, kind of the structure, the limitation, the container that holds that overflowing love, and it's flowing down to Tiferet. Tiferet's holding both of those in a beautiful balance, and there you see the child with the arms open wide, embracing life, and that will be the good and the bad, you know, the opposites. That is the heart that embraces the opposites. So there's your Sun card. So for Tiferet and Chesed, we've obviously got our Four of Cups again. I'm going to be an expert on the Four of Cups by the end of this. But the 4 for Chesed and the 6 for Tiferet. The Tiferet, again, it's depicted as a child. Now for me, this, I'll put that down for a minute. This 6 of Cups is that receptivity of a child's heart. You know, a child is just open, trusting, you know, just open-hearted. A child, I think, is a really good expression of Chesed. Sorry, Tiferet. Just beautiful, open. They see the beauty. They think their parents are gods and goddesses. You know, they're just innocent and open. They're not filtering everything through cultural conditioning or, you know, wounds. Well, we hope children are not. Some children are. But I'm talking about a child that's unwounded. They kind of have got this open trust. They're not suspicious of adults. They're not untrusting of life. It's a beautiful opening. So in Tiferet, this is a beautiful card for it because it kind of depicts it, you know, being given a card. But then on top of that, we then have our Four, our Chesed. And although Chesed is overflowing love, that could be, you know, the cups, the intuition, the emotion, the abundance being offered to the guy, but he's just looking at what's in front of him. But this could actually, in connection with this card, because he is a wounded child, you know, many of us get wounded through life. He could be sitting there thinking about what has happened to him both in his childhood and in his adulthood, you know, and be limited and unable to accept and receive, you know, the beauty and the harmony of life, unable to look up. He's sitting under a tree and he's on the grass and he's not seeing the beauty and harmony around him. But if we're wounded, we become defended. We become, he's got crossed arms. That speaks of defense, you know. So there is that side to it, the shadow side of that. There's also, it could be that he did have a good childhood. It was wonderful. And now he's in a place where he's having to take on the responsibilities of adulthood, you know, the limitations, the giver, the restrictions, the work, and he's nostalgic and he's like, I want to go back to that. You know, you often see it in young people who, you know, want to escape. They don't want. I know with my lot, they'll hit me for saying it, but there was this period when they left school, when they had to grow up and get into the world, where they really didn't want to engage. I mean, I know for me, you know, going from 16, 17, when you're going into the big wide world, it's a scary experience. So it can be that too, you know, just the fear. So it's fear, doubts, anxiety, or it can be wounds, but there's something limiting this flow of truth, harmony, balance, beauty. So there's our cards to reflect on. It's that sense of, am I embracing with open arms what's happening in life? Do I see the beauty, the harmony? Have I got a heart of a child, but a child who's balanced in the sense of an adult? You know, the open-heartedness of Chesed, that reflection of that beautiful, open-hearted, loving kindness, but balanced off, because Tiferet is a kind of balancing factor. So is it balanced off with, you know, the adult, the knowledge that, you know, a child who's never been hurt will have this openness. As you get older, you see the opposites. You know, your mental life, your emotional life becomes more complex. But they're kind of questions we need to ask, because they can become our cultural conditioning, our spiritual conditioning, our childhood wounds, our adulthood wounds. You know, they can limit and restrict us from seeing the beauty, the harmony. They can make us sit cross-legged, you know, or we can get stuck in memories and then see our present life as no good. I mean, really, there is only this present moment. Yeah, we can have memories, but we're not living in them now. We don't really know the future, so it is now. So it's like having that attitude, that kind of childlike but structured, open, you know, just embracing what's coming towards you, and that's whatever life is, you know. So there are our reflections, yeah. So it's like, let's remove the obstacles, the betrayals, you know, whatever's limiting us, so that we can receive that flow down of balance in Tiferet of beauty, harmony, truth. And see the truth of ourselves. You know, if I'm acting like a petulant child, and even at my age I can act like a petulant child, I need to see it. And I need to see that it's stopping a beautiful flow. You know, it stops you giving out. It stops you shining like Venus or like the sun. Okay, so Tiferet is connected with the heart chakra. So once again, I'm going to pull, I've got cards from the chakra deck, and I'm going to, the heart chakra. So I'm going to pull one of these cards to see what message there is to add to the reflective read. So we got play. So yeah, I think, you know, I think in life that we can become so darn serious. You know, life makes us serious. We got to go work, we got to earn a living, and we don't allow ourselves to play. You know, what is it? The inner child in you, this inner child, that inner child. You know, what do you want to embrace? What do you want to receive? What will make you open-hearted? Think about the things that are going to make you open your arms like that. What do you want to do? You know, I mean, does your inner child want to, you know, eat a trifle with its hands? Does it want to go on a swing? You know, or just play, laugh, joke, have fun. We can get so serious, and even in our spiritual work, we can get this like pomposity, you know, like I know everything, and this real kind of egotistic self-righteousness, you know. So it's like play, laugh. Life is beautiful. There's so much to love and to like. You know, don't stay in your wounded child. I can tell you for sure it is not worth it. It limits what you can receive. It limits the love you can receive. You know, life hurts. Life is difficult, but also life is beautiful. I mean, look at those dolphins, just the natural world. You know, if you don't know how to play, if you've lost the art of play, then just observe beauty. You know, go look at art, read poems, just go out into nature and really look at the beauty. I mean, nature is one of the best things to go do. You go walk in a natural environment, you see the oneness, you see how everything is interconnected. It gives you, nature speaks to you, you know, really speaks to you. So yeah, so play. Go and play. Have a pillow fight with your partner. Have a food fight with your partner. You know, whatever it is, just go play, because we need to take off. I mean, life is darn serious, you know, and there's some hideous things going on in our lives and in the world. And if we don't balance that and bring harmony, you have to find a way that brings harmony. Even if your play is to, you know, lay in a bubble bath with rubber ducks and candles, listening to classical music, or, you know, sitting and reading a really good book, stuffing your face with some chocolates, whatever it is, you know, take time out to honour yourself and to learn to play and relax and enjoy and see the beauty and harmony of life. So that's good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a few cards to see if there's any, you know, particular messages that want to come through. Oh, well, that did. Okay. This card keeps coming up. Okay. Oh, this is perfect. And the third, oh, very interesting. Perfect. Right, so we got the Six of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Tiferet, the Sixth Sephiroth, and we've got the Four of Wands, Four of Cups, Chesed. So we've got a repeat of that. But we've also got the Eight of Pentacles. So for me, this is kind of like the balancing things. This is talking about giving and receiving. It's like, you know, whatever you do, you've got a family, or you're working hard, or you're focusing on your spiritual life, whatever you're doing, find that balance of giving and receiving, and don't give and kind of have that self-righteous attitude, you know, that we can sometimes got to have the balance. You can give but also receive, and in terms of play, you know, if you're working hard, then go play, you know. If you've had a hard time, if you've been trying to heal and sort out your childhood wounds and the wounds life has brought you, then, you know, bring balance. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is about an openness, about receiving, you know, keeping your tent open to love. It's about union, balance, harmony again. So, you know, let the overflow of whatever it is that you're needing, you know, to bring yourself into harmony and balance. And this Eight of Pentacles is about work. It's about hard work. It's a guy working, you know, a tradesman making these pentacles. So, you know, in light of the whole read and about balance, harmony, and about the union of Gevurah and Chesed coming down into Tiferet, the fourth and fifth coming down into the sixth, you know, play. Don't just be all work, whatever that work is. Work to heal, work to raise a family, work to earn a living, just work. Don't, make sure there's balance, you know, giving and receiving. If you're giving out a lot, make sure you balance that with receiving. Keep your tent open, you know, keep yourself open to receive that balance. Play, you know. So there we are. There's today's reading and reflection. I hope that's helpful, and I wish you lots of love, as it's Tiferet. Lots of love. All right, bye bye.